Today we're going to be giving the LEGO Simpsons house the love it deserves. This set here has been in my collection for quite some time. It's been in the LEGO City, on the shelves. It's been moved around far too many times, and I never really treated it the way that it should be treated. So today I'm going to be MILS plating the LEGO Simpsons house. This set comes with 5 minifigures. I love the Flanders one. He's wearing the apron there that says, "Hail to the chef," working the grill. And then we've got Lisa, Bart with his skateboard, Homer in his shirt and tie, and then also Marge. Marge is supposed to be wearing an apron, but like I said, I've moved this set around far too many times, and I've actually misplaced the original Marge minifigure. It's somewhere though. In addition to those minifigures, we also get some accessories such as the Simpsons car in the classic pink color. Also, look at that. It's got some wedges on the side there to indicate the fender bender that they got into, so a little bit of damage on the vehicle there. We've got the grill that Flanders can run in the backyard there. Also, a mailbox and Bart Simpson's quarter pipe, or a little ramp there for his skateboard. Now, there are some more accessories that are supposed to be inside the house, like chairs and stuff like that, and like a table, I think, but I've misplaced them because they're sort of loose in the house. And as I move this thing around, I sort of put those things into a bucket, and they're like, oh no, where did those parts go? But either way, it looks pretty good from the outside, right? The roofs are all removable so that you can see all of the interior details, and it also does hinge right here on the chimney so you can open it up. So I don't really mind the fact that this house here can actually open up to reveal all of its interior details, and it's got a lot going on inside. And these roofs can be removed as well. This is decent, however, I find it's rather fragile. When you move this thing, you got to be super careful. But yeah, there's all sorts of interior detail, furniture, and it's very, very colorful. In fact, there should be, I believe, a kitchen table and 4 orange chairs. But like I said, I've moved this thing far too many times. And when I was moving it, some of those pieces got thrown into random bins, and they're somewhere in my parts to be sorted. But there's all sorts of sticker elements all over the walls. Actually, I think they might even be print elements. Yeah. Print elements. It's been a while since I built this, and I actually bought it used, so I didn't apply the stickers, but I believe they're print. So you can see that closes up like that there, and then you can remove the roof panels to reveal the interior details of the garage as well. And this is, of course, where you can open up the garage door to park your Simpsons vehicle. So I'm curious to see how I can MILS plate this thing. I am going to give it 4 base plates. Let's pull those out. So I know 4 base plates is a lot to allocate to one building in the LEGO City. Like, that's tons. You can fit 4 modular buildings on 4 base plates. I would prefer it to be 1.5 base plates by 1.5 base plates deep, but I just don't think that's going to give us the space to create the yard that we want to create. Also, this is, I believe, 54 studs wide because we have this stuff on the side of the Simpsons house. So this is 32 studs, and then we come 22 studs past. Whereas 1.5 base plates is 48 studs. So 1.5 wide isn't going to work for us. So I'm thinking we have the space in the LEGO City right now to center this thing on 4 base plates, just giving us a lot more space for the things that we want to create, like the driveway, the path up to the front door, the tree house in the backyard, the sandbox in the backyard, etc. So you can see I actually gave the Quickie Mart 4 base plates as well. This is sort of how I want to treat the Simpsons house, give it some nice space there. I mean, this is a beautiful parking lot, and it just sort of looks good and is very presentable in the LEGO City. And I think if we give the Simpsons house that same amount of land there, I think it's going to look pretty amazing, especially when we MILS plate it and give it a nice driveway and everything like that there. Something else that's going to get 4 base plates is the McAllister's house when we get around to MILS plating that. Now, I'm willing to allocate 4 base plates to the Simpsons house because there is quite a bit of land open in the LEGO City right now. You can see all of these base plates. There's another one here, and then there's a few more scattered throughout the entire city. Oh my gosh, I definitely prefer working with 2x2s when creating MILS plates, but I have a whole bunch of 2x3s in stock and no 2x2s. So essentially what I did is I put rows of 2x3s going all the way along there and separated them by 2 studs, except for the first row, that's 1 stud. And then you'll see some filler ones here that just locks the base plate in the spot like that there, just to make it really solid. So this is going to be the foundation for our Simpsons house. Now essentially I need to position this on here, tack it down onto the base plates. Now unfortunately that is going to lose the ability of opening up the Simpsons house. But honestly, I like never really open it up, so I don't really care about that. I mean, one thing you could do is use jumpers. So you could create a jumper base for this so you can actually still lift the Simpsons house off. Maybe that's what I should be doing. I'll show you. I did that for the Quickie Mart actually. See if I can do this one-handed here. See, it's just tacked down by jumpers, you see? And then there's some miscellaneous tile down there just to give it a little more support, but it's literally just hanging out on the large MILS plate there. I could do that same thing with the Simpsons house, but honestly, since I've built this, I have not opened up the Quickie Mart. And for those of you who are wondering how I did this, I think I made a tutorial video on it. Just search Quickie Mart and you should be able to find it on my channel. So I think this is going to be the position of the Simpsons house on its MILS plate. You can see I've left enough room right here for a driveway. We are not going to put a sidewalk here. We're just going to have the sidewalk on the road plate in front. I think that's all we need in the residential area. I've also left 8 studs open on the side here. That's enough space to accommodate those bushes popping off the side, and also gives us 2 more studs for like a fence, and that also leaves us a bunch of room right here. Now I am looking at source material, so I'm looking at pictures of the Simpsons house from the television show on Google. Got it tacked down in spot now. Had to replace some of the odd-shaped green plate around the perimeter of the building just because those are going to be a little bit harder to blend in, but just replaced them with some square plates. Then when we blend in the yard, it's going to look a little bit better. So to get it down on the 2x3 bricks, you just sort of pushed around the edges. That got it all secured on there. Then I removed the roof panels and sort of just pushed down everywhere. Stuck my hands in through the doors and sort of pushed down because there's a whole bunch of 2x bricks on the base of the Simpsons house, and those are all now adapted to the 2x2 bricks on, or sorry, 2x3 bricks on our MILS plate. Wow, I'm excited to place this in the Lego City. I think it turned out pretty good. I will say though that the Simpsons house has sort of a boring yard, but the backyard's got a little bit going on for it for sure. So we've got Marge and Lisa standing there. I built this nice curved path here that leads up to their front door, and that connects to the driveway there. Added a little bit of detail to the driveway. We've got a oil stain there. Now I did make the driveway and path the same height as our sidewalks. So I did do a little bit of blending here around the edging using some angle plates for the grass. I also replaced the bushes. They used to be like built using slopes and stuff like that. Not a huge fan of that, so I decided to switch them out for the actual bushes just because they look a little more authentic. And then I used these as my fence elements on the side. Now I would rather have the picket fence, but I only have picket fence in white. And the Simpsons don't have a white fence, they have a brown fence. So I decided to go with these here, and then I topped them with 1x1 studs. I just think that adds a little bit of detail for sure. And on this side over here, we actually have like a nougat dark tan stone wall because that's how the Simpsons house actually is. Back here, I've got the large tree house that we built quite some time ago. And of course, that's Bart Simpson's tree house. Now I built that a while ago, and the Simpsons yard is known for its massive trees. So that's a pretty big one there. And this one in the corner that I stole from the campground is pretty big as well. Flanders is still operating the grill back there. And then I built Maggie Simpson's sandbox there. And also we have Santa's Little Helper's doghouse. Now there's one thing that we're missing back here, and that is a red swing. I've never built a swing before, so that's the next thing I'm going to try and do. My requirement was that this swing has to be red. I didn't have enough red pieces to use Technic. This is what I came up with. It's not the best. I know there's different ways of doing it with like bars and Technic elements and stuff like that. But I think this, represents a pretty cool swing. It uses tiles, plates, connector elements, and some Technic as well. But I don't know. I think it, it looks fairly passable, I'll say. I think it gets the job done. It represents a red swing. I know the one in the Simpsons yard, I think, has like 3 swings, but I don't know. I don't want to make a huge swing set for their backyard. Hey, I think this looks pretty good. I mean, technically I'd like to put some more stuff here, but this is pretty authentic. The next thing that we're going to do is place this in the Lego City, modify the road plate so it accommodates the driveway, and also place Bart Simpson on the street. Well, I may as well record this, right? Let's pick this thing up. Let's see if the MILS plate is serving its purpose. Hey, that's a lot easier to move. Very cool. Hey, look at that. Looking pretty awesome. I can't believe it took me this long to finally MILS plate the Simpsons house. Hey, not bad. So we rounded out the curb right here on the road plate, so that looks a little bit better. Also, I added a modified plate onto the ramp there so Bart can be sort of floating in the air, which looks pretty neat. The next thing I'm going to do is MILS plate the McAllister's house. I think that one's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'm excited about it. I think it's going to look pretty good. I love how we have the Simpsons house right across the street from the Quickie Mart, and both of them get 4 base plates of awesomeness. Woof, that looks pretty fresh. Hope you enjoyed the vlog on me doing this, and if you have a Simpsons house, maybe you'll consider doing it as well because it's definitely a lot better. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Hope you enjoyed this little city update with the Simpsons. Farewell, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.